They assumed dismissing me would mark my end. Instead, it ignited my beginning. The HR manager's tone was rigid, practiced, as if she'd rehearsed it in front of a mirror. "Return all company assets," she instructed, her gaze fixed on the folder before her, avoiding my eyes. I pushed the office keys across the sleek table, their faint clatter against the wood echoing my perceived insignificance in their view. She offered a strange smile, grateful I didn't cause a fuss, but I wasn't one to plead or crumble. I exited the office with a steady stride, my hands unshaken. An hour later, the CEO's voice pierced that calm. "Why is there an eviction notice plastered on my office door?" he bellowed. I let him rage. I owed him no explanations, only silence. And silence, I'd come to realize, cut deeper than any weapon. I first met him 6 years prior when ambition still masqueraded as devotion. His handshake was firm, reassuring as he promised, "Help me build this company and financial worries will be a thing of the past." I trusted him. I poured myself into late nights, sacrificed weekends, and missed family milestones, believing it would matter. He called me his trusted ally, his family. Family? That word doesn't snap. It festers. The first hint of betrayal was subtle. Payments stalled. Bonuses deferred. Deals I secured were credited to him. Whispers circulated in the break room. Interns knew details about my accounts before I did. Board meetings excluded me without warning. Then a misdirected message arrived past midnight. A screenshot of my salary with the caption, "Overpaid for a mutt that just follows orders." I didn't respond. I didn't confront him. Emotions blur clarity, and clarity was my last stronghold. I began observing closely. The lease agreements, the contracts, no one bothered to scrutinize them. The building we worked in wasn't owned by the company. It was leased month to month. He swaggered through those glass doors daily, acting as if he ruled the city, but the foundation beneath him, that I claimed. Quietly, I established a holding company and bought the property under an alias. A ghost unseen, silent just like me. They thought firing me would strip away my influence. When HR demanded I return company property, they didn't realize the true asset wasn't the laptops or phones. It was the building itself. The keys I slid across the table weren't a concession. They were a trigger. The eviction notice was the flame. I'd waited for the lease to lapse, for them to sign nothing, to assume stability where none existed. When the sheriff's office tacked the notice on his door, I knew he'd call. He did, his voice frantic, unraveling. "Fix this. You know people. Make it disappear." I nearly laughed. He still saw me as his problem solver, his shadow, his loyal hound. "So," I spoke the truth plainly, "it's my building." Silence. Then a forced, disbelieving chuckle. "That's absurd," he said. "No," I replied calmly. "What's absurd is you thinking you could run this company without me. Watch." The board splintered first. They'd backed him, but they relied on me. When I hinted at mishandled funds and contracts hidden under his name, they listened without hesitation. Then the staff followed, those I trained, those I shielded when he cut corners. They walked out alongside me. Within weeks, the company was an empty husk within a locked building. The CEO's office remained dark. The once crowded parking lot was a desolate grid of faded lines. I didn't need to ruin him loudly. Silence did the work. The bank claimed his assets. Investors abandoned him. His wife left when the second mortgage notice arrived. Meanwhile, I reopened the same building under a new name with the same team, the same clients. This time, the walls were mine. He appeared months later, his suit ill-fitting, his tie loose and stained. His eyes flickered with the unease of a man who'd forgotten power's weight. He stood outside the glass doors, staring at the team that once stood for him. I stepped out, keys in hand, not to offer, but to spin idly between my fingers. "Looking for something?" I asked. His mouth parted, closed, parted again. No words, no defiance, just silence. The same silence I'd wielded all along. The silence that had unraveled him. Revenge isn't loud. It isn't fury. It's patience. It's the quiet certainty that one day the ground will shift and those who built their kingdoms on your shoulders will feel them collapse. When it happens, you won't need to shout. They'll hear you in the